This is Sandman, and he's doing so I had no clue. CJP, I remember it was brought up in my chat, like I think a few streams ago, and someone said it was like for a cockroach janta party. I thought they were making a joke about like CJP, because in India they always shorten everything to like just letters. So I was thinking, oh, they're making fun. I had no clue that it was actually for Cockroach Janta Party, because it was all just a joke on the BJP. But yeah, this is Sandman's video on that. I'm curious on how he's going to say it. He's probably going to be enraged.
Friends, a new political party has just arrived on the scene and is making waves. Within a few days,
which I believe it's already been taken down. If I'm correct, CJP has already been removed. All that stuff is all completely gone.
Surpassed the BJP in Instagram followers. And currently, it's probably India's most followed party on Instagram. This party probably started as a joke, mocking the Chief Justice's statement that India's unemployed youth are like cockroaches. In a way, they were protesting against the Chief Justice by forming their own political party. Until then, everything was fine, as the Chief Justice's statement was highly insensitive and generalized the youth instead of highlighting a genuine concern. Or the Cockroach Janata Party was retweeting the same statement online, and I don't know if they had such a plan from the beginning. But as their followers grew, they actually started getting political. We'll discuss their manifesto later, but first, let's talk about their Instagram account.
So it was started as a joke, and that's what's sad is like we've gotten so far into such a weird place in the world where places like The Onion or like all these satire types of news articles that used to write things as jokes, now people will lean into a joke and believe it to be 100% real. Like there was that meme that was started where okay, you know, the term universally understood that is okay because the O and the K, it was a rumor was spread where this stands for white power. And because of that, it was removed from platforms because some people made a joke. They were literally doing it as a joke. And I think it was like in The Onion that people ran with it, believing that this meant white power. That it got removed from games, like anyone who knows Call of Duty, it got removed from Call of Duty where you can no longer do the OK sign to let your player know that it's like, you understood. Like, it's so freaking ridiculous that things can... people take the most ridiculous stance and run with it. And then it gains a massive following for no apparent reason because some people just get too invested in something.
This political party's Instagram account is made in the United States and operated from outside India. The founder of this party is Indian, but he has been living in the US for the past few years, and it's not known when he'll return to India. The Cockroach Janata Party isn't this guy's first political party. He previously worked with the Aam Aadmi Party for a few years, so he already has experience fooling people. His party was formed to revolt against the CJI statement. However, I don't understand what kind of revolt they're waging. Someone called them cockroaches, and they're using that as their own political party. It's like I called you a donkey and you start calling yourself a proud donkey and even form your own political party. This revolution is likely inspired by the Proud R movement, where girls were calling themselves R-word to appear cool. Anyway, their party, which was formed to protest against CGI's statement, has ultimately fallen back on the Aam Aadmi Party's anti-BJP stance.
You might notice that our followers now exceed the BJP's. It took the BJP 4 or 14 years to reach 8 million followers. They've spent countless millions of rupees on this. So our next target is to reduce the BJP's followers by any means necessary. Because these are the people who have robbed you of your future. They've taken away your jobs. Your life is ruined because of them. So the job of all the people who have joined this movement is to unfollow the BJP right now.
And I told you not to. He's back to square one, isn't he? He's back to square one. Like this guy sitting in Germany, sitting in Britain, and this guy sitting in the US. All these dogs barking together. I knew he came here for this very reason. It's all a game of funding. Babubaya, everything is a game of funding.
Unfollow BJP if you are a cockroach. Is Asmongold supposed to follow the? I was like, oh, a roach party. I'm going to it. Honestly, what would have made it great is they just constantly have a gif of like Asmongold with the cockroach jumping on him and he's like moving it. I think that's one thing that would be great. Like you lean into the ridiculousness. The fact that they were able to get millions upon millions of followers. Imagine being the creator of that account. How much fun could you have with trolling people? how much fun. The fact is, it just got way too political way too quickly. And when it comes, especially in this day and age where people take politics way too seriously, people take politics way too seriously, especially when most places, in a lot of places, in democracies where you can vote, like in India, you can vote when the next term comes around and you have a say. You have a say in what happens. Why are people getting so up in arms and aggressive? Well, the whole reason is because right now, everyone is so used to having, it has to do with like the immediate gratification now. We are so used to wanting something, getting it immediately. We're so used to needing to know something, we can look it up right away. We want to watch a movie, we don't have to go down to the nearest extinct Blockbuster to rent it, to go home, watch it, and then return it. No, you just open Netflix or Hotstar or whatever it might be, and you watch it there. It's immediate gratification that now people can't wait till the next election for a chance to vote. No, everyone's impatient. Like, that's the thing. It's just like when Trump was first elected, so many people were enraged. So, but they were constantly calling him a terrorist, a traitor, all that kind of stuff. 4 years go by, he's out of office. Biden gets elected. He does 4 years, opens the border. Most Americans absolutely despise that. And then guess what? People voted. Yeah, like how if you don't agree with a company, you don't have to buy their products. If you don't agree with a politician, you don't have to vote for them. You can vote against them. But the thing is, it's like so many people are so used to the immediate gratification that once the opposition parties voted in, because the majority of the people have wanted that, they now feel like they need to attack that. Because I see that, like how the MAGA party will attack like the woke liberals, and then the woke liberals will attack the MAGA party. It makes no sense to me. It absolutely makes no sense. It was just like, all right, we have 4 years of another person that's obviously not going to do anything for me. That's honestly it, because the president really doesn't dictate much for me. The only thing that he's been doing that I absolutely agree with is getting everyone that broke the law to get here out. We need more of that. Round them all up. Get them out. They're disrespecting my father. They're disrespecting my wife. They're disrespecting a lot of my family members. Yeah, get them out. But other than that, it's just like you don't have to 100%. And a lot of people, their parties have become, it is a religion. It is absolutely a religion. People will go to bat, go to the ends of the earth, believing in something. Why? Because they've just been raised to believe it. It's most of the time an occult mindset. If you can't read another text, then obviously you're in a cult. If you refuse to acknowledge any other kind of literature and at least read it, then you're in a cult. That's that's the kind of mindset I've always seen. And it's only gotten worse as social media has become more mind-rotting, because in the beginning, it wasn't that big because long-form content was still enjoyable. People could enjoy long-form content. The thing is, things with TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, all this stuff has encouraged people's brain cells to rot, that they need the immediate gratification. They need that 30 seconds of dopamine hit. The only point of shorts is they get to the point in a matter of seconds, or at least that's the hope of them, that they can hear what the topic is about in a matter of seconds. So that way they don't need to watch a movie, they just see a short about it. But I think that's the main issue. Why so many people are so invested and so enraged is because they feel like they lost, they don't have a voice, that they get angry because they now have to be patient for a few years until the next election.
They haven't come here for the youth. Their main issue is this. Their agenda was to go against the BJP. Call him German Rocky, then call him Ranting Bull, then call him Arpit Kala, whoever it is, and this new idiot has just arrived. This is my first time abusing in a video. He has made so much sense. He is fooling people, and people don't even understand how he is doing it. He is telling people, boys, you have to make a video and post it. Some are even saying to block him, hey, make a video and post it. It took the BJP 14 years to make a video. Hey, it takes time to do good work. It takes time. It's not a virus, it'll spread quickly just like you did, right? You have supporters. They're all from outside. Only 2 to 4% are from India. He's back to the main point. Unfollow the BJP. I mean, he forgot to mention the NEET exam. Then he forgot to mention CBSE. As soon as he remembered, he said, no, let me give him a little 10-second intro at the end. I have to say this, right? I got Putin,
Xi, Bibi, everyone knows how to play Trump except the idiot Modi. Well, yeah, the easiest way to play Trump is just play on his narcissism. It's that easy. It's that easy. But I just don't think Modi wants to get into that. I just don't think it does, especially if India doesn't really require the United States. India doesn't. I mean, it's the outside after China, India is like the biggest manufacturer in the world. I think that's yeah. But that's the thing. It's just like, why would you need to, buddy a narcissist when you can literally do it all yourself in house? You don't need to appease somebody.
Followers because of this.
Unless you're trying to become the new China literally selling to the rest of the world, which would be a good thing. But I think India would do better if it did its own kind of transport. If its own kind of, the thing is like the U.S. military is everywhere. Is everywhere. Like it's everywhere on the earth except on U.S. soil.
How will it work if I don't say this, right? So he gave a 10-second intro at the end saying, Quaita, this is why I joined. So this has to be done. We will teach the BJP a lesson. You will teach the BJP a lesson. So let's do
hello, you should make a party and name it National Socialist American Worker Party. Socialists don't work. Are you kidding? They want everything. Well, in the United States, the reason why they push socialism so much is they don't want to work. They don't want to have a 9-to-5 job. They just want everything given to them. They want everything given to them. And they vote people in on the promise of receiving things for free. That's why they vote for people, because they're like, oh, that person promised me he's going to fight for me. I mean, that's the only reason, like, there's a streamer that gets so much traction is because he constantly promises, like, as soon as if I'm not here, then no one's going to fight for you. It's just like, what the heck? What the heck? Everyone has a voice. Everyone can choose for themselves. One streamer isn't going to affect nothing. We're just idiots here rambling. We're just idiots here rambling.
one thing. Let's make Puneet superstar the next PM. Let's make Puneet superstar, right? He also has a lot of followers.
Right?
Or let's make Rakiso in the next PM. Mia Khalifa also has a lot of followers. Should I make her one?
This is
I
Sandman's
already knew this
video.
much. This is his manager. This is what he came here. He's that idiot from outside, come to India and then work at the ground level. Now, look at this brother whose photo you're seeing. This brother works at the ground level. He does everything from teaching children at the ground level. And his followers are not following him. But this cockroach that came in 2 days, we beat it with our slippers and killed it completely. It came and started barking. People are following it. The youth are being spit on and nothing is happening. Not happening, right? The next PM is just a superstar, just a...
Cockroach. The Janata Party hasn't even become an actual political party yet, and they haven't done any groundwork yet. Their main selling point is that someone called the youth cockroaches, so now the youth should call themselves cockroaches and join their political party. If you want to join their political party, the criteria are quite strange. First, you have to be unemployed, so
Yep.
I can't join it. Then
Yep.
you have to be lazy.
That is absolutely true. A lot of this stuff is normally the unemployed, is the people that don't want to do anything, chronically online as well. Like for me, I keep telling myself I'm going to do more social media because if I want to, do more of, be more of a retard online, I need to have more like of an online presence. But as soon as I'm off, I spend time with my wife. I'll go spend time, like that's I have plans with my family tomorrow. So it's just like, that's what I do. I'm not chronically online, just rant professionally. Yeah, well, I do rant professionally. So I got one of them. I got one of the three. Sadly, I'm not lazy enough. I'm not unemployed, and I'm not chronically online. Even though I wish I could be, I'm just not. It's too sad. Like most happy people aren't online. That's the honest truth. Most happy people aren't online. Like on social media 24/7, whether they're watching like a streamer, I'm not referring to me, I'm literally watching something that's triggering to people, but like playing games, or someone that's just doing like a try not to laugh challenge, that kind of stuff. That's fine. That's something different. Yet you're watching that for entertainment, to watch someone like make an idiot of themselves, make a fool of themselves. I guess that's why everyone watches me. I mean, I make a fool of myself, but there is nothing wrong with that. That's more like an escapist thing. But the absolutely chronically online, to where every few seconds you're going to bat for somebody for no apparent reason, that's too much. That's too much. Like everyone should be down for criticism. Sometimes it should at least be constructive, but sometimes it just know that not all criticism is good criticism, or it doesn't work for specific people, because some people are just like they know what they're doing and they're going to stick by what they're doing. But yeah, the fact that it's unemployed, lazy, I'm out. I'm out.
chronically online and know how to rent professionally, amen. So in a way, they are directly or indirectly targeting those who are simply unemployed, Mari. They don't do any work and don't want to improve their situation by working hard. They spend all day doom scrolling. And instead of taking ground level initiatives on anything, they just cry online. And to be honest, there are millions of such people in India. The Cockroach Janata Party wanted a huge following on its Instagram account, so they tried to attract every type of unemployed person, including the lecherous Mutal gang. To attract these people, the Cockroach Janata Party even set up traps on its Instagram account where they had 5/10 bad guys promote their political party. Oh man. Seeing this, the Gunners might think, oh, I haven't found any romance yet, but if I join this political party, maybe I'll find some romance somewhere. Who are you? Should I pee on such a cockroach party? Got it.
That's literally some of the ads they were running to push. Yeah. Yeah. That is incredibly disgusting. That is incredibly disgusting. Of course, I'm the type of person that would never follow something like that, because that's I view someone as doing that kind of content, like, you know, the soft kind of stuff, incredibly disgusting. I mean, why would you do that? Why would you do that to yourself and demoralize yourself that way? Even if you're not intending it, you're still doing it for a purpose. I mean, how do you record that video, watch that video, and then like, you know what? I'm gonna post this. Now, if she was live and doing that, it'd be something different. Well, if she was doing it intentional, still a problem. But if she was live, she was doing something, then she went and got a popsicle and then was just still doing her thing while live, it's not a big deal, not a big deal. But that was literally recorded intentionally like that. That's just disgusting.
No, I understand exactly what you're saying, friend. Your point is very good. So if this party comes to power, it will take away everyone's rights. No, I understand completely. By the way, I have an ice cream cart.
If you eat ice cream, you'll go crazy, guys. Can you believe it? Crazy. Crazy, crazy.
The Cockroach Janata Party's main achievement so far is that many unemployed people have followed their Instagram handle, ILM, and they proudly flaunt their follower count, which is quite childish and immature. Just because you have more Instagram followers than someone else doesn't mean you're better. Especially in political matters, where groundwork matters more than online hype, something the CJP hasn't even begun to do yet. If you're judging someone based on online hype or following, then in that case, you would have to call Neha Kakkar a better singer than Arjit Singh because she has...
Yeah, the funny thing is like... saying that not having a big following isn't important is not entirely true, because the reason why the actress Zendaya is in everything is because I think she has the biggest following, and I don't know how, I don't know why, I don't understand it, but she has like the biggest followings on Instagram, which is why she's cast in everything. Because she has but you can't do, like, you can't have policies made in government, you can't have decisions and roles made in film, all based off of an Instagram following. That is absolutely dystopian. The fact, like, the more popular you are, the more sway you have. How have we gotten to such a dystopian society? You would think the people would have the voice, not some random Instagram account. No, it should be with the people. And the people aren't all on Instagram. The people aren't all on one platform. The people are everywhere. The people are doing their jobs. And that's the thing, like the majority of people, like it's the chronically online, like there aren't many voices for certain groups, primarily because, guess what? They work for a living. Most working class citizens work for a living and have families that they can't remain online 24/7 combating everything. Like, that's why I got on, because I just saw so much nonsense online. It's just like, well, there's no one that literally speaks nonsense. There's no one that just talks over all the noise. There has to be somebody that has to talk over the noise. And now that I've done more, I've seen more that are doing it. But I've had fun with it. I have fun with it. And you know what? I get like $2 an hour doing it. And I'm like, that's fine. That's fine. $2 an hour. I'm going to make like, what, $8 today? $5? Something like that. Okay, whatever. I'm perfectly fine with it. It makes sense. It makes sense. But that's what you got to do. There has to be something that goes over the noise, because everyone believes politics is the most important factor in their life. It's not. It's not. Making enough to support your family. That's important. Maybe a politician will make effects to where you can actually get a job. That's important. The problem is I don't understand all these parties that run on giving the people everything, because when the people aren't working, there's going to be nothing except debt, which the U.S. knows a lot about debt, accrued in order to pay the people, which shouldn't be how it works.
More followers than him. So she has more followers than him. Now, followers are being discussed here. For your information,
Yeah, we have a
many
Modi
people have
hater
claimed that the
in the
cockroach
chat.
Janata party's followers come from Pakistan, Bangladesh, or Turkey. Okay. And many have even alleged that these people have bought followers or are buying followers or... When numerous people began calling out the cockroach Janata,
I like how it's just quiet. It probably wasn't quiet. Maybe they cut that out. But the fact that it was like if I'm honest, if I was in India, living in India, I'd vote for BJP, because it seems like that's doing more progress and opening more opportunities in India than India's had experience in decades. And anyone who says otherwise just wants to be the on the take. Just wants to receive something because there's not enough work for them to work. I mean, that's honestly how I see it. Those people who don't want to work literally will push for something which is obviously dysfunctional to begin with because they want to have an excuse why not to work. Well, there's not enough jobs. Give me money. There's not enough jobs. Give me money. I can't work because they're giving it to this minority. Give me money. That kind of stuff. Instead of there being jobs, there not being minorities, all illegals being kicked out, that now guess what? There's plenty of jobs for you to work. Go to work. Go get a job. You know, that they don't want a job. They don't want a job.
Party claiming that the Instagram handle was being run from the US or that the man was a former employee of the Aam Aadmi Party. They jumped into the fray to defend their party. As expected, the same old worn-out game began. Abhijit and I are leaving no stone unturned to defame this entire movement on social media. So what if he was previously associated with a party? What's wrong? A person's past actions alone can lead to conclusions about their future prospects. See, in whatever party he was previously associated with, he hasn't yet stated that it was bad, that he's now completely separated from it, or that its leaders were worthless, so he has nothing to do with them. In fact, this person himself once stated that no matter how far he distances himself from that political party, he will always remain committed to it. By the way, let me tell you something. If this cockroach from the Janata Party was previously a BJP employee, this same fellow would be telling people not to trust him because he's a BJP sycophant. Because imagine Aditya Dhar launching his own political party. Do you think this fellow would support Aditya Dhar the way this cockroach is supporting the Janata Party? He never did. And you call me a fake Hindu? Jai Hanuman, ocean of knowledge and virtue, Jakapeswar, the messenger of the people, the messenger of the people, Atul Pawan Sudra Mahatma Sudra Bajrangi. Look, just because you've memorized the Hanuman Chalisa, or any mantra, or even the entire Bhagavad Gita, doesn't prove you're a supporter of...
Yeah, I hate how people will vote based off religion. I hate how people vote based off religion. It's absolutely stupid. I understand, India should primarily be... well, especially after it being partitioned. It should be a Hindu nation. It should be a Hindu nation. Does that mean only Hindus are allowed there? No, just like America is a Christian nation. It used to be a Christian nation. It's more of a agnostic. It's more of an agnostic nation now. But it was its foundation was on a Christian nation. So it will forever have the laws and rights and beliefs based off Christianity. But it's more agnostics. But that doesn't mean Muslims don't live here. That doesn't mean Hindus don't live here. That doesn't mean atheists don't live here. That doesn't mean Jedi don't live here. That doesn't mean, whatever kind of cult doesn't live here, because they're everywhere. We have them everywhere. We have Sikhs, Hindus, Muslims, Mormons, Christians, Catholics. We have everything here. But that's how it should be. You go to a nation that you feel you can be at home in. I feel like I could live in India because I understand a bit of the Hindu religion. I've never gone through the whole thing, but I understand a bit of it. I'm okay with the practice is not a big deal to me. I don't need to eat meat. That kind of stuff. So it's just not that big deal to me. It's not that big of a deal. But the thing is, it should be based off of that. That's honestly how I feel. It should be. But people shouldn't vote exclusively on that, because one of the biggest downsides in India was when I first heard about it, the fact that it has different laws for different people. What? It's like what? But they're both human. Why? Just, they're both human. Like, you know, that kind of weird. It was just so weird to me. It was so weird to me. But yeah, that's how I feel about that. That's how I feel about that. But yeah, people need more of a baseline to vote for what they want to vote for and not base everything on religion. I hate people who base everything on religion. I hate people who base everything on politics. I hate people who base everything about like an absolutism in their life. Like, no, because things like that are fun to discuss when you're talking about like Dragon Ball Z, when you're talking about One Piece, when you're talking about Star Wars, you know, fictional worlds. It's fun to have like absolute fanism for those fictional worlds. But when you're talking about something that breeds a lot of contempt with other people, it's best to just have your own personal belief and then never make it the sole construct of your reality. Because the second you do, you're going to start targeting other people.
Sanatan Dharma, by that logic, even Ajmal Kasab was a Hindu because he wore a sacred thread on his hand at the time of the attack. By the way, this guy had a relative of his own, perhaps his uncle, grandfather, or perhaps his father. He contested the election on behalf of the Aam Aadmi Party and lost badly. So far, we found 2 Aam Aadmi Party links. One is the founder who was hugging those people, and this defender also has some connection to the Aam Aadmi Party. Let's forget about any other political party links for now. Let's look at the manifesto of this new political party. They have only 5 main points. The first of which is that no CJI should get a Rajya Sabha seat for free, and I don't see any particular problem with this point. I asked the AI why the CJI gets a Rajya Sabha seat for free. It told me that no such seat is given directly. Instead, the president nominates these people for the seat, or they have to contest the election, Now, the president can nominate a maximum of 12 people, and if they're recommending a CGI, there are both pros and cons. So this isn't a bad point which they've mentioned in their manifesto, but it's also not so unique or advanced that its existence or absence would make a significant difference to anyone. In my opinion, this point is merely being raised out of frustration against the CGIs who called the youth cockroaches, saying, look, you called us cockroaches, now you'll see, when our party comes to power, we won't let you get a Rajya Sabha seat for free. Their second point is that no legit vote should be deleted. And if such a thing happens anywhere, the chief election commissioner should be arrested under the UAPA. And I don't think there's any problem with this point either. Rather, this point should be further enhanced, not just...
Yeah, there should be no corruption whatsoever. I don't believe in like the mail-in ballots. Like the only place that should have mail-in ballots is the US. Yeah, like those who are in hospitals, like those who are medically ill and can't get out, cancer patients who are bedridden at home, those in hospitals, and the militaries, those who are serving overseas. Those are the only ones who should have a mail-in ballot. Everyone else, guess what, should have a license, a voter's ID. That's what you need, a voter's ID. You need to be an actual U.S. citizen and no more of this becoming naturalized through taking a test. None of that. You have to be born in the United States, you have to live in the United States, and you have to get a voter's ID. I don't want my wife. My dad got his citizenship after like 32 years in the United States, and then he got to vote. And it's just like, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. Even though I'm happy my dad can vote and have a say in what our nation does. But the thing is, he's been in the U.S. long enough. Maybe there should be a curing period where it's like, all right, you get your citizenship. Now you have to wait 20 to 30 years before you can get a voter's ID. Maybe that's how it could work, because if they've been here long enough, I could understand that. But I don't like how we have people who don't belong here voting. We have people that have no rights voting. We have people who are scourges to society voting. We have people who are dead voting. All that stuff is just ridiculous. I hate all that. I hate all that. We shouldn't have that. We should absolutely not have that. And every nation should agree. I mean, even my wife has her voting license from India. Like, she has that. But why is it the US doesn't have that? Every nation should have that, and every nation should make that a staple of their society. Why? Because you don't want foreign influences to dictate your nation. That's the last thing you want. Unless you're in the pocket of a foreign influence, you do not want corruption taking over. You do not want corruption taking over. But yeah, there should always be voter ID. There should always be safety upon safety upon safety, double checking.
the CEC, but anyone who attempts to influence elections by coercing people into voting for a particular party or by preventing entire villages from voting because they would have voted for another party should also face the UAPA. Then, their third point states that they will provide 50% reservation to women. This, in my opinion, is the most absurd point in their manifesto.
No.
As a youth of this country, I don't want reservations for any public sector positions in my country.
Yeah, no group of people should ever receive more help than another group of people. None. The only group that should ever get a priority is children. There should always be an option for a child that wants to further their education, further their knowledge, further their understanding. That's it. That's it. But no, absolutely not. There should be, oh, well, I'm from this community. Oh, I'm from this community. Oh, I'm from this religion. Oh, I'm from this territory. None of that. Absolutely none of that. It devalues, it devalues everything. It devalues the entire system. Like, what's funny is my wife could have easily used those caveats to get into where she was going to get into. But the thing is, she did not want to utilize those outlets. Why? Because it's incredibly disrespectful to those who have worked hard to get into schools, who have worked hard to get into places of work, who have worked hard for it. Because you have to work hard, and then you're literally beaten by someone that scored less than you because they're from an impoverished community or from a different community. And because they're from a different community, the place that they're applying for needs to check the box, so they hire the one that's from the reservation instead of actually someone who is talented for the job. You always want to have the people who are the best people for the job. What do you want? A doctor who is qualified, who did all the time doing their research, worked hard to get their degree, or someone who got in on half the knowledge, passed it, got their degree on half the knowledge because they needed to put in half the work. They didn't have to put in as much work. Which doctor do you want to see? The one that worked hard for their education, or the one that got passed because of who they are or where they came from? It's that simple. It's that simple. And everyone wants the doctor that's actually well educated, the more informed one, the one that actually knows when they don't understand what they're looking at, the one that will give a referral as needed, or the one who pretends like they understand everything because they got a degree, even though they never learned anything. Yeah, I think most people want a doctor that's well educated.
As a citizen of this country, I want those working in the public sector to be the best of the best, regardless of their caste, religion, and founder. In my opinion, if a particular class is backward, the government should try to bring them on par with other classes by providing them education and training, rather than encouraging them by giving them free seats and karising.
Yep.
Okay, you're from a backward class, so you should remain so. Okay, oh, we're just giving you a seat or a job as alms. You and your community should be happy with that. Right? Half of the country's growth has been hampered by reservations and freebies. And this new party, calling itself the Judge Party instead of eliminating these things, is further promoting them. And what's even more ridiculous is that, in the very first point of this manifesto, they mentioned that they won't allow CJIs to take free seats. So on one hand, you're saying that you won't allow free seats, while on the other, you're increasing the number of free seats. Wow, what a cockroach. Their fourth point targets the Goody media, saying that the licenses of all Ambani and Adani-owned news channels will be revoked. This seems highly biased. If you want to revoke licenses, do so for all news outlets and only allow crowdfunded news outlets to operate. A single owner of any news outlet has the same chance of being corrupt as an Ambani or Adani news channel. Their final point states that if an MP or MLA changes their party, they should be barred from contesting elections and should not be given any public sector work for 20 years. This point comes directly from the Aam Aadmi Party office against Raghav Chadha because he left their party and joined the BJP. This is a personal matter between the Aam Aadmi Party and Raghav Chadha, so I won't comment on this. However, if you have something to say on this point, please leave your views in the comment section. Friends, I believe this political party is a kind of gimmick. It's supposedly a new political party that will become the voice of the youth, but in reality, these people are servants of the old political parties. And they're planning to do the same work that those political parties used to do under a new name. Their manifesto isn't attractive enough.
Reservation should not have been implemented in the first place. No, it should not. No, it should not. You should never give priority treatment to any select group of people. Everyone should be treated the same no matter what. No matter what. You know what's funny is that's why there are a lot of Americans who are frustrated that a better educated Indian is coming to America and taking their job. Why? Because they're going to work harder for it. They're going to work harder for it. And guess what? People want hard workers. People don't want someone who's going to leave partway through or call in sick or just they want someone who's going to be there and be reliable. and be reliable. That's just what it is. You want the best person for the job. You want the best person for the job. Are you going to hire a lazy American, or are you going to hire a hardworking Indian? Which one? Which one? That's not entirely accurate, but I'm trying to make a explanation here. You're just trying to have it make sense. But the thing is, just like, that's how it is. That's how it is. People always feel like they're getting again, it's the same thing like with I'm going to give reparations to these communities because they've been marginalized against. They're marginalized against because they're encouraged to be marginalized against. Like, that's not entirely accurate, but they're encouraged, like, single household families, like single mothers, get far more benefits than a married family, which absolutely makes no sense. There should be more benefits for a government benefits to those who are married, like a married family, than like a single mom. Because now there are communities with nothing but a single mother because the father is not encouraged to be there. What's the point? Well, why would they stick around when the mother gets enough just being a single mother? What's the point of investing in a family? When back in the day, in like the 1960s, there was no more concrete structure of family than the black community in America. Fast forward 40 years. How's it looking now? Well, I guess it would be 60 years at this point. Holy crap, time flies by. Yeah, fast forward 60 years. There are stereotypes based off this now. There are stereotypes based off this. You should never hire off of a category. You should always hire the best person for the job. Plain and simple. You should always get the best student for the position. You should that's just how it is. Plain and simple. Plain and simple.
To make them feel worth supporting, nor are their arguments convincing.
I currently live in the USA. For the past 2 years, I've been observing discussions here about how the US can dominate the AI industry, how the US can dominate the semiconductor industry, what has been the discussion here for the past 10, 12 years? Hindus and Muslims are being pitted against cows.
The first AI summit of the entire global south was held in India, attended by over 20 heads of state and over 500 global AI leaders. Abhijit, the question is, I didn't find a single tweet on your Twitter timeline criticizing the naked demonstration at the AI summit. Instead, I found Woon. That's a golden idea for me. You also took a look. You casually stated a very important point. If robots ever attack humanity, India's AI summit will be responsible for it. This means that if India advances in AI, on the one hand, India is preparing for war against humanity. But if this doesn't happen, on the other hand, you've always had the Dung and Hindutva argument. India also signed a $1 billion deal with ASML in the Netherlands for semiconductors, which neither the US nor China received. Ooh. Yet you never supported this.
Well, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for saying this, but by blindly supporting a party formed just 4 days ago without any political knowledge, we are proving right those who called us lazy, unemployed, and stupid youth.
Friends, this political party
by following something that just starts, it's obviously a meme, it proves a lot. It proves a lot. Uninformed people. And are there always negatives to every party? Absolutely. Absolutely. There's nothing that's perfect, because in the end, what you want as a human being is never what somebody else wants. But you want to find the one that aligns more with you. Like, I believe in people working hard. Like, I have no problems with AI. I have no problems. I believe like it should be utilized. I think people should have it take jobs, especially like mini jobs. Thing is, after that revolution hits, there has to be a subsidized community that lives off of like a meal loaf, like where you have a piece of bread that has like every single bit of nutrients you might need in a day. So that's handed out to the plebeians who choose not to work for a living. Like, everyone who's at the very bottom gets the basic. They're given an average cookie cutter house or a room to live in. And if they have a family, then they're maybe given a duplex or something that's added on, because there will need to be that kind of thing done in the future when more jobs leave the market. When more jobs leave the market, that's just what's going to happen. Where people have to get subsidized by the government, but not to the extent where they can live. Like, that's the thing. In the United States, people who don't work, and like, so there are these communities where it's a single mother with like several kids from multiple different guys. They receive more income in the entire year than I make working the entire year. than I make working the entire year. That is the issue. That is the issue. That shouldn't be the case. That shouldn't be the case. Maybe the kids are given a treat every now and then, but the entire family has to survive off of like the meal loaf, where it's a piece of loaf that gives you all the nutrients you will need. Because that's how you end up with all these people that don't work for a living being incredibly overweight, because they're giving so many food stamps, they're giving all this aid, they're giving all this nonsense that they can spend $4,000 a month on food. I can barely spend $200. I can barely spend $200. But yeah, because I can't afford the rest of everything else. I can't afford the rest. I still have to pay every other bill. So yeah, that's just how it works. That's just how it works. But I believe people need to work, and eventually there will have to be a situation, but you have to have like meal loaf. You can't have these, oh, you know what? They don't work for a living. Let's give them more money than the people who actually work for a living. That just doesn't make any sense. That just doesn't make any sense.
Charade is worthy of ridicule, but some bad things have happened to these people as well. For example, their Twitter handle was banned in India, and no valid reason was given for it. Then someone tried to hack their account, and on top of that, some people are probably sending them death threats. No matter how big jokers they are, they don't deserve death threats because of their joker ethic. So that's it for today, guys. I've told you my views about this party. In the future, if this party contests any elections and does some groundwork there, then we will be able to better understand its intentions. But for now, it's just an online trend that people have mistaken for a revolution. The kind of things the founders of this party say and the manifesto they've created make me think their main followers will be WhatsApp University graduates, and if you try to reason with them, they'll call you a blind devotee and run away. A funny question. What do you think about Durandar? What do you think about Durandar? Or is it funny? I really want to know. You don't like it? You don't like it. And what is your reason for not liking it?
I did like the way it tried to say that it's a fictional movie.
Okay.
And what are you doing afterward?
You're tweeting reality.
So whether you should, or being an artist, it's your responsibility not to give the facts. So what?
If you're showing the facts. But as a movie, did you enjoy it?
I watched it. I did watch the second part. I watched the first part.
Good, brother. You didn't watch part 2 otherwise. Hearing Muri Muri and it would have killed you without your kale hit and it would have. So good, guys, that's all for today's video, and I hope you enjoyed it.
He just needed to add
I'm just
that
waiting
last
for the next
part in.
minister from the cockroach, not a party, so I can proudly say I've supported this party from the beginning. So friends, I'm actually closing this video. We'll see you in the next video with a different topic. Until then, keep playing, stay happy. Sandman out.
Oh my gosh. The fact that it's literally a meme that just gone too far. It's gone too far. And so many people are uneducated that they go to bat for whatever reason. There's nothing wrong with being unhappy, but you don't have to belittle others because of it. Did I enjoy when Biden was in office? No. But what's gonna come of it by making jokes or being cruel or anything like that? I mean, I know other streamers did because it was their primary job to get on and just laugh at the new thing that comes out. They do the exact same thing with Trump, and I think that's fair game. I think that's fair game. But that's the thing. It's just like you're never gonna be 100% happy. You're never going to be 100% happy. What is it when the next party comes into play? They finally win the election after everyone's been talking about the BJP has been awful. Well, not everybody, but a group of people. And then the next party comes in, fulfills nothing, and does exactly the same stuff. Are they going to claim that the party's against them? No. Literally, if the next party that came in that wasn't the BJP came in and did the exact same stuff, it would get praised and by the same group of people that hated the BJP. That's just how it works. You could do the exact same thing, and you will get the hate and praise in concordance with what the previous party did. It is absolutely crazy. Why? Because the people don't care about what is actually happening. They care that they're the ones that's doing it. They care that they're the ones that's making it happen. And that's the thing. It's just like it has nothing to do with what's going on. It has to do with who's doing it. Like there used to be, like in the United States, there used to be no stricter group, political party on immigration than the Democratic Party. When Bill Clinton was in office, it was incredibly strict. Fast forward 26 years. Holy crap. Fast forward 26 years. There is no bigger party for open borders than a Democratic Party. Yeah, it's just that's just how it works. That's how it works.
You guys get a video? It's so bad.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Why is like that?